You're probably making excuses of why you can't keep it together, and why you keep running from struggles, or why you keep trying to handle everything on your own. But I've been there too. What if I told you that instead of running from your problems, how about you bring your problems to God? God is calling you to run to Him with every single one of your problems. He isn't waiting to judge you with the things that you're struggling with. He's there to be your refuge, and He wants you to bring your struggles to Him so that you can talk about it, because He's the one that's actually carrying them for you. Because when you take everything to God, you'll find that all the weight that you brought to Him gets lighter and lighter every single time. So let's talk about how you can stop trying to solve everything on your own and bring it to God instead. Pride and control will always be the downfall of someone who always wants to do everything on their own. Trust me, I have been there. Control, huge part of my past. We weren't meant to do life by ourselves, yet alone make every decision by ourselves. But releasing pride and control shows that you're willing to surrender even in the midst of all the chaos, where you feel as if everything that you have is under your wings when you should actually be under God's wings. Remember, God is the CEO of our lives. We're just managing them. That's how we are to be with our problems and wanting them to be fixed. So who do you find yourself running to instead of God when all of these problems start to occur in your lives? Let's start in Psalms. Psalm 91, 1 through 2. The one who lives under the protection of the Most High dwells in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say concerning the Lord, who is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. The Lord is our safe place. He is. Even in Proverbs 18:10, it says that the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run to it and are protected. I'm going to give you a strange example of how that actually occurred. Many of us have nightmares, I'm sure. And if you don't have any dreams, that is also an issue. I encourage you to read Deliverance from Demonic Covenants and Curses if you can. It's a huge, pivotal book that I have had in my life, and it has shown me to understand my dreams more, and it goes into curses and all these things like that. But this specific dream, they usually don't mention nightmares to anyone, but this nightmare was different. Okay, so I'm a dreamer, and that is where God talks to me the most. So I take them pretty seriously. I'm not going to tell everything that happened in this dream, but here it goes. I was feeling a little sick in my dream, and I know I needed some rest. There were these people over to my right, and they were checking in on me to see if I was good. And I was sort of laying on this couch type of thing. This man comes over from my left, and he walks over asking the people if I have gotten like the proper treatment, the proper salve for me. I don't know exactly what he was saying. But after that, he came in. Well, hold on. Let me finish this. Let me finish the dream first. He came in asking if I had the proper treatment, the proper salve for myself. And then afterwards, he came from underneath the couch and started like strangling me, like legit, like choking me type of thing. That's all I'll say about that. But in that dream, when he was choking me, like he literally had his arm around me, like choking me type of thing, I kept screaming the name Jesus. I kept saying it over and over and over again. And it was to the point where the grip loosened off of my neck, and I woke up screaming Jesus, 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 and I kept saying it for like probably a minute or so. What am I saying to you? I'm saying that the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and are protected. When I screamed his name, Jesus, demons flee, right? How much more ahead can you be in your life if you bring the name of the Lord to your situations, to the center of your situations? We're going to be disciplined in our pursuit to the King about all of us, not just parts that we want to give to him, about every single piece of us to him. And you know what this requires? Vulnerability, and intimacy. In the last episode, we were actually talking about Hebrews 12 and 11, that no discipline seemed enjoyable at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. And at that time, discipline isn't much fun. It's always going to feel as if you're going against the grain. Later, of course, it pays off big time. For it's the well-trained who find themselves mature in their relationship with God. So remember, we called it journey fatigue in that last episode. It's where you give up before the discipline gets settled into your mindset because of self-sabotage. And you have to work through that discomfort and pain, because on the other side is where you will see results. This is with anything. I gave examples for studying for a test, to baking bread, to mowing your grass, to even doing your makeup routine. You can't stop in the middle, or else it'll be unfinished and a mess. That's why God is training you for such a time as this, to produce righteousness and be an example to many others who want to be disciplined just like you. The more and more we bring our issues to God, the easier it'll become, because it's like clockwork when we start to chat with the Father about our everything. These are consultations that you're doing with God, and they're good consultations. He is all wise, and He knows the ins and out of you. He is the creator and the manufacturer of you. So if you have a missing part, if you have a part that's damaged, you can go to the manufacturer, and He has all the replacements for you. So go and get your consultation and see what that's about. He has all the solutions, I promise you. And the Lord also says in Isaiah 41:10, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will hold on to you with my righteous right hand." This means God is wanting to lead us in the right direction, if we so choose to follow Him. And in the midst of the chaos that may be happening in your life, where God is, peace is. Now, I know this may be a very short episode, but I'm encouraging you to stop making excuses and run to God about all the problems that you have. If you are running to other people to get solutions for the thing that God wants to give to you, you're basically getting a secondhand answer. And that is being filtered through all of what they're going through, and then it gets to you. Wouldn't you rather go straight to the creator, straight to the manufacturer who has all the solutions for you, and give it directly to you? They call it farm to table. We're getting the meat that we have from God, and it's coming straight to us. There's no byproducts, there's no secondhand thing, there's no processing. It's coming from the farm straight to you. That is how you should go to God about all your solutions, going straight to Him about everything that you're dealing with. And that even includes discipline, asking God for discipline. I had to ask God for discipline so many times. And you know what He did? He put me in situations where it required discipline. But I'm so grateful for it, because His ways are higher than our ways, and His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. I would have never thought about putting myself in a situation where I needed discipline, because that's just not how I think. I wanted to introduce myself, if you already didn't hear who I am. I'm Jocelyn Starr, your host, and this is the Heal Sis Heal podcast, episode 5. I really hope that you enjoyed this one, and I will see you for the next episode that we have coming out next Monday. I do want to give you a couple of updates. Next week will be our last episode for season 1. So binge all of these episodes as you so desire, because we will be coming out with more episodes probably at the beginning of March. I'm going to take about 2 to 3 weeks off for this season. I really do hope that you enjoyed this podcast though, because I have been enjoying it. And the thing is that God has been pushing me more towards doing this podcast, talking to people, talking online, actually stewarding this ministry that He gave me so that I don't get replaced either. You know what I'm saying? Be disciplined in all the things that you do. Be disciplined in your eating, discipline in your work, discipline in whether you do content creation. I don't know what you do, but make sure that you are disciplined in all the things that God has told you to do. I will see you next week for the last episode of season 1. And we'll be picking up again in the month of March.